Towers of Doom, welcome everybody. We are in the losers bracket final. The Hardos against the Donuts, a classic best of 5 series between the two teams at the XCup Summer Playoffs. Again, 4,000 euros in total are on the line here in the playoffs. The top 4 of the tournament, to which those two teams that you see in front of you belong, also qualify for the next Meta Madness directly. So already a bit of a win here for them. And yeah, it's going to be pretty epic. So I'm hyped for this. Of course, we have the grand final coming up after this, where Team Wah is already waiting for their next opponent. And it's just going to be awesome. Now, the entire tournament, I pointed this out before, is sponsored by a private Heroes of the Storm fan from Germany, Europe. And again, a fan of Heroes of the Storm ever since alpha, beta of the game, has been playing it for a long time and been part of the community. And after the death of HGC, wanted to support the esports scene and is now bringing us the XCup Summer, which is pretty awesome. So big shout out to our Mr. X. And as it stands, we have our first season nearly concluded, as we see bans in game number 1 on Towers of Doom on supports. So, well, Lucio gets banned out, Stukov too, and of course the Birdie gets eliminated, which immediately brings us to the question, are we going to see Dehaka also? No, it's Medivh instead. So Dehaka is still up. You can go for Dehaka, you can go for a Vala play here. Brightwing as a support pick would also be interesting, and it should be an interesting series. The games between those two teams were always like super tight. It always felt like the Donuts are the kryptonite of the Hardos. So maybe today they can move on even to the grand final. The Donuts obviously did not participate in all of the qualification tournaments. They only participated in 3 and barely made it into the playoffs. Therefore they had to go for a run through the lower bracket. And they did incredibly well. Took down every single opponent they faced off against thus far, but now they have to break through the Hardos, and that is not going to be easy. Nick with the Vala first pick, and I would expect the Dehaka to be taken in the first rotation. Oh, different setup. Stitches from Lauber. They are the ones that banned out Medivh, so they eliminated the chance of a kidnap combo happening here themselves, and they want to have Tychus together with that, but they still go for the Stitches pick. Now, that leaves Dehaka up for grabs, and you want to have a strong side laner. Normally, we're looking at Blaze, we're looking at Leo, we're looking at Dehaka. Dehaka offers you the additional global, and, well, there he is for that very reason, with Bad Benny also coming in. Yeah, good on that. Bad Benny with Jojo. There's already wave clear that you have in the 4-man. On top of that, you have Dehaka that can come in the fight. Stitches is going to get some playtime today. Already in game number 1, I like it. So no Blaze, no Blaze main tank or Leo main tank shenanigans at this point for the Donuts. Maybe later in the series, like we don't know. But now that they are up against a team that is more so on eye level with them, they stick, at least in the first game, they stick to a normal composition. So they got Kane banned again. He was obviously in the patch buffed a bit and has been seeing quite some play. Let me think about that. I think it's the first time they get banned. Maybe the second time. It's not like he ends up in a ban slot over and over again, but we have definitely seen a higher priority for Deckard Kane now, just in general. Tracer also banned. You still have Ty on the other side, so you got to be a bit careful with that. Marlow has also been playing quite some Tracer. And for me personally, it's still more of a question what's getting played in regards to the supports, because both Ixia and Yasuo are known for the support plays. Ixia has started to branch out a bit more, with him playing not only Probius but also locking Zarya in multiple times, and then they switched roles up a bit, so we could still see that. But here comes Ixia with Brightwing. And Ixia was honestly the first European player that played Brightwing, and where even when nobody else played Brightwing, and Brightwing was just an absolute garbage pick, made the hero kind of work, where I said, okay, I totally understand why he gets it, and with him playing the hero, it's a real threat. And one of the main reasons was that everybody else was playing Emerald Wind, and Ixia was one of the first Brightwing players that said, what is this shit? Let's go for the Blink heal, and that changed everything. Talking about changing everything, that draft got changed very, very quickly. We got Abathur played by Hazu, together with Karazim and Dehaka. So you now have Karazim, who can really benefit from a symbiote. We have Dehaka, who is going to have a much easier time on the top lane. And this is going to be good. Even Jojo with the symbiote is going to be super scary. Once you have the copy, a double Vala, a double Dehaka, I mean, there's going to be a party. Zarya for the red team, though. I already talked about her just a moment ago. Earlier in the previous series against the Donuts, Go Next banned Zarya out on this map for this very reason. And they're going to try to set up this strong 4-man to break through and punish the Abathur pick. Here we go. The Hardos, everybody, against the Donuts. The best of 5 at the XCup Summer Playoffs. Hardos against the Donuts, map number 1, Towers of Boom, here we go. And it's Hazu on Abathur, playing the Slugger here for the big slap. And we got Nick on Vala, Bad Benny on Jojo, Copenhagen on Dehaka, and Yazu on Karazim. On the right side of the map, it's the Donuts with Skok on Hogger, Ixia on Zarya. Tai is playing Brightwing, again that role swap setup that they have going on right now. Marlow on Tychus, and Lauba is playing Stitches. And of course, just to reiterate that again, normally we have the Donuts also with Rutsu, who is obviously a beast, but he is having PC problems and had now issues for a long time. One of the biggest problems is apparently that the new PC that he ordered is just not getting delivered and is being delayed over and over again. That was one of the main reasons why they didn't participate in all that many of the qualification tournaments. But Marlow is subbing in and he's doing a great job, but he's also now forcing them sometimes to swap roles here. So you see Tai in a healer position, and it's kind of fun, honestly, to see them with this 5-man, and they had of course a lot of success during the playoffs here, but can they break through the Hardos? That's the bigger question right now. So let's have a little bit of a look of what's going on with that. First of all, the Patchwork Creation is in, as we've seen a bit more lately. Oh, the shield! Saving Tychus, nice! We have now also the dash on level 1, so no grenade setup for him. Zarya with a feel the heat, and they're feeling the heat. They're definitely feeling it. Vala is down as Zarya comes through with the kill, but Karazim is punishing Ixia for the audacity of attacking their hyper carry. So it's a kill on each side. Good start into the game. Everybody is ready to brawl it out and to be aggressive. By now we have the pumpkins up on the map, and of course that means that the teams are both trying to lock in the first mercenary camp. But Benny even rotating over and looking to see if they can maybe interrupt this one. Highly unlikely though. But yeah, I'm impressed that Skok is able to lock in the pumpkins at the top, because honestly, with Abathur being able to help out here, that is always a huge threat. As a solo laner, you hate to go up against a team that runs the Slugger, because Abathur doesn't respect the 1 versus 1. He just doesn't. Every single time you think, hey, I'm golden and I can get the kill here, all of a sudden that symbiote appears and you are in deep shit. Now, we got the Master Assassin on level 4, so the increased attack speed for Tychus, that's the reason why you get the talent. You also have the defensive shielding now up, with the wall completely nearly completely destroyed at the bot lane. Only the tower is still here. And off we go. We have a slight advantage for the Donuts. The Donuts have been the kryptonite for the Hardos for a long time. And the Hardos throughout the qualifiers found themselves in this weird... Oh, there's a good hook. Found themselves in this weird spot where not only the Donuts were giving them some trouble, but also, of course, the new top dog in the house. Team Wah. Zelia on the main tank for the team that finds themselves in the grand final now was also a very interesting change, since Masquerade hasn't been playing most of the matches with them here at the tournament. Vala now with a completion on the level 4. Pretty decent stacking, at least initially. But down here, the hook attempts from Lauba. Kind of on point. He's always close. Nick, by the way, in my opinion, best Vala skin. Best Vala skin right there. There's a couple of really good ones, but Vala's master skin is incredibly good, and that is definitely the best tint on it. Bad Benny, he's already attempting to block. It's a channel for a channel as usual during the first altar phase. But here's the opportunity now to make it too. As Brightwing moves in, they chase Bad Benny away. Yasu gets another heal out for Jojo, but I'm not sure if they can re-engage. In comes Dehaka, he's looking for the drag, can't get it. And instead, Ixia is getting murdered. Ixia down, and Hogger is just not here yet. So Bad Benny is low, but he just can't get the kill. But with Scott moving in, maybe now the opportunity to get the last hit. No, instead, Hogger is dead. But the altar gets channeled. 9 hit points on Karasim, and he goes down. But Lauber turns around with the Devour and walks away. 2 kills to 3. Level 7 for both teams now. Abbas at the top. Slap it, baby. Slap it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, for sure, for sure. You got that right. So, we got our level 7 talents on both sides. Abathar has soaked experience at the top lane a bit with a booty. And in comes the Combat Tactician. Okay. So, full-on adjustment with that. It's a talent that we have seen in the past a couple of times. So, they started to go for full-on auto attacks. And then the grenade build was slightly buffed. And all of a sudden, that became the name of the game. So, yeah. By now, we have 35 stacks for Vala. So, solid progress for Nick. But they are losing some ground at the bot lane. It's still even experience for the two teams. Slight advantage, of course, for the Donuts. And, well, let's go. Here comes the push with the pumpkins at the bottom of the map. Zarya is enhancing this format even further. Copenhagen moving in. We have the full-on setup at the bot lane now. Ixia goes down. With the help of Abathar and Dehaka, they turn this into a bloodbath. Down goes Zarya. Ixia struggling a bit at the beginning of the game now. But that obviously also gives a bit more control to our boy Hogger at the top lane, and that results in another camp that he will be able to take for them. Also, Alter against Alter at the top side. The hook against the minion. Yeah, unfortunate. Maybe the minion was a little bit cheeky earlier and insulted Lauber. Went for a bit of a mini variant move. But that was definitely not the intended target. So Lauber with the Devour again, top left, top right, get channeled. Abathar is getting active. The Slugger going for it himself. 4 shots on each side, and that still maintains the same gap, of course. The advantage still goes to the Donuts. But we're talking about level 10 abilities, of course. Now the Heroics are going to be dropped in just another second, as both of the teams are closing in on them. That gives us the Shockwave, that gives us Gorge again. And you guessed it already, for Tigers, it means that it's time to pop the Odin. Also on level 7, Mule. Abathar, the last hero in the game that has Mule. And Brightwing goes in with the Emerald Wind. Now, I was shitting on Emerald Wind a bit earlier, but at the same time, you got to remember that we have, in this case, also Zarya on their side, so that gives them more support and sustain during the fights. And Emerald Wind is being used to isolate whatever hero Stitches is gonna gorge. That only works, of course, if he's still alive, and, well, he's dead. So that's a quick kill, and it seems that Zarya also doesn't stand a chance. The Hardos, everybody, 6 kills to 2, and boy, they are on an absolute killing spree here. Seems that they want the rematch against Team Wah in the grand final. And if they continue at that pace, they might just get it. We had an incredible winner bracket final between the Hardos and Team Wah. Went down to the wire, the final map, and it could have been anybody's game, but it was just a bit better, the performance of the team that is already waiting in the next round for their next opponent. So, yeah. As it stands, the Hardos, they drop down into the lower bracket. Now they have to go up against the against the Donuts. And at least in the first game, they're looking good. They haven't won this one yet, but they are roughly a level ahead now. And they have taken kill after kill. And I'm very impressed also at how quickly Nick is stacking. He has a lot of advantages for that particular play because of all the plays that are going on at the bottom of the map. Here comes the Emerald Wind, as already mentioned before. 7-sided strike. There's a lot of dodge targets too. Can he get out? And I guess the answer is yes. They try to force the fight here regardless. And Nick is hitting one multi-shot after another. There comes again the drag, and there they go. 1 down, 2 down. 2 heroes get eliminated. A third one falls, and Lauber is also dead. Well, we might have a longer break after the first game because the Hardos are currently shitting on the Donuts, and I think they will need a shower after this one. That is an absolute disaster for the red team. They came in with a lot of momentum, but check out this team fight again as the bot bell tower gets attacked. This turned completely. They came in with Abathar, with the copy, with Dehaka moving in, and that just killed them. 11 kills to 2. They got 4 kills in total in that last encounter, and they control every aspect of the game. They have, with Abathar and with Dehaka, multiple globals that they can also use for experience, and this is just nasty. I mean, seriously. it's going to be tough for the Donuts to come back. Now, to be fair, this is Towers of Doom. After all, this is Towers of Doom. This is the comeback map. If your late game looks good, you can always bring it back here. You win a couple of team fights, you gain map control, you take some bell towers, and then it's a very, very fast snowball that you can execute. But at least for the time being, it is troublesome. Now, they're trying to bring this back by taking the boss at least, which would give them another lead on the objective. The bell tower at the bottom of the map gets taken in the meantime, and I guess that was inevitable. But yeah, here we have it. 4 shots are getting fired. They have to retake the bell tower at the bot lane eventually, but it's a full 5-man push at the top lane that they're executing now with the help of these pumpkins. So they're attempting to take down the opponent's bell tower at the top and trade. And they are able to pull it off. So they get both, boss and bell tower. Bot lane control is more important in general in Towers of Doom because it's a lane where where 2 pumpkin camps spawn. So there's a better chance for you to get points off the opponent's core by moving those mercenaries in. But I gotta admit that it was a neat move by the Donuts. They got some extra shots, they got some extra control, they traded on the bell towers, but they still have to, of course, now try and get some kills in. And the problem for them is that level 16 talent that just got locked in by the Hardos, because now there's a significant advantage in the power levels for the team in blue. And that leads also to the channel down here, so another 4 shots get fired, and that ties it up again. 24 points on each side. Brightwing down, Lauber also in trouble, 7-sided strike, and down goes Stitches. The Hardos forcing the fight, they have the level 16, and now they are going for a bell tower in the mid lane. That will be an easy conversion for them, absolutely no problem. And this game is just spiraling more out of control every minute. Bad Benny, he's the one trying to defend the bot lane now. Obviously, it helps that Abathur has Mule. So whenever the Donuts move in to do some damage, as soon as they are pushed back, Mule gets dropped. And then Abathur just repairs at least some of it back up again. We have 5 bell towers against 3. 51,000 damage already in Valor. Compare the damage output here. 21k top damage for Zarya on the red team side. And the blue team is more than doubling that with their main damage dealer. Abathur is also sitting at 24. We got the Haka on 22. So all of these guys are a bit ahead. But now we're making plays at the bot lane again because the Donuts, they know that they need to bring this bell tower back. It's just honestly, it's a sore thumb for them right now. So here comes, oh, that's a good one. They might get the kill. That's the Gorge after the hook. Death Zone in play. No way. Bad Benny, he's alive. They were able to save him. Nice heals from Yasuo here. He got out, still had the Iron Skin up too. By the way, bell tower at the top got also retaken, and now we're talking about a triple altar phase with Hazo already getting in position with the Slugger. They retake at least the mid lane, so that's good news, but this is still 5 shots per altar. And if they just lock into, that's 10 points of the Donuts core. And one of the pumpkins made it through as well, so yeah, it's not really looking all that good now. The shots are getting fired, an absolute barrage that hits the core, and we're talking 13 for the red team. Now they finally have level 16 as a talent, so that helps a little bit to equalize the team's power. But again, if you are looking at the core alone, that's an 8-point difference that we're talking about. And of course, the kill difference between the two teams is just insane. 11 kills more for the Hardos. Such a fantastic first game for them. We talked over and over about how the Donuts seem to be the Hardos' kryptonite, but at least in game number 2, there is just an insane advantage for the blue team as they are playing such a coordinated game. They're syncing up the abilities for another kill, but this time it's Kerosene that falls. They're getting another kill. Is this happening again? They take down their Haka. They go for Bad Benny. Is this the triple kill? Can they get another kill here? Lauber is low. He's going for the hook. Can't hit it though. But here comes the engage. They're moving in for Nick and Bad Benny. But Benny is still alive. Abathur can help out, but of course the Donuts now aiming to retake that bell tower. Nick is low, Bad Benny as well. They're both gonna die eventually, and this could be the beginning of a comeback. This could be the beginning of a comeback. Only Abathur is alive. The bell tower is taken. I said it before, the comeback potential on Towers of Doom is always incredible. But I gotta be honest with you, I didn't believe in it. I didn't believe in it. Not even a little bit. But as we're looking at the game unfolding in front of us, it's the Donuts that have control over the map, that can now lock in 2 altars and might even be able to take another bell tower. Lauber with the channel, 21 points against 13. This is going to change very, very quickly now, and we will have a tie. And the experience is nearly dead even too. This is incredible. Vala is at 74,000 damage now. I highlighted it at the beginning of the game. Nick has been stacking out of this mind in these team fights. So, right now, with them claiming the top bell tower, this is going to be 4 bell towers under control of each of them. Right here, the level 20s are in. We get the intensive winds. We have the hungry stitches and the big red button. Yeah, big red button, it's in. 4 bell towers to 4. Transgression now. Also, Hive Mind. Contagion for the Haka. Vala with the Manticore, so we're going to see the Farfly Quiver here. At least we should. No, yeah, there he is. Farfly Quiver is in. And Jojo, of course, can always go and upgrade her ult. Which we see most of the time, but him holding it back seems like he is hesitant a bit. Maybe more survivability, and yes, that's indeed what he's going for. Goes straight in for the blinded by the light. Gets isolated, by the way, just as we're talking about it, and he's completely alone at the bot lane and gets wrecked. Benny is dead, and that's bad news. Now, the good news is they got the boss. So he was buying them a bit of time. 9 points to 13, but of course, with Jojo down for another 50 seconds, this should be an easy altar for the Donuts. And that's going to be another 4 shots. What a game all of a sudden. What a game. Think about this. Like, how... There were 11 kills ahead. 11! Oh, that Yasu wasn't stopped by the chain and thrown off the horsey. That's just all there is. Lauber was a moment too soon on that hook. Or it could have been another kill. Skog with the channel, 4 shots fired. Yep, 9 points to 9. Dead even. But better control at the bottom of the map, and that results in the Pumpkins making it in. Shots fired, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Hazu is desperately trying to drop a mule on the core, but that doesn't work. Can't repair that bad boy. That would be a little bit imba, if you think about it. That would be honestly insane. Yeah, okay. Now with 20 kills in total in this game, it's going to come down to another team fight. It's still amazing to me where we are right now. I already chalked this one up as a 1-0 lead for the Hardos. But now the Donuts are trying to escort another pumpkin camp through the bot lane. And this illustrates very well why the bot lane is so important on this map. Well, 1 more shot, 2 more shot fired. Lauber, he got the gorge. They're trying to go for the kill. Nick low, he gets saved. Everybody pops the ult as they're trying to go for a drag on Ixia. Is that the kill on Zarya? No, it's not, but Hazu, he loses the copy. Top side moving in, and another 3 shots fired. This time on the other side. 3 shots to 6. 3 to 6 shots, and we have 2 altars popping up. Abathur's already preparing with the toxic nests. It's party time. It's really party time here. The Hardos need both. They need both altars if they want to win the game here. If the Donuts win a single one, it's over. Unless, of course, no, not even unless. Even if you take this one, even if you take this bell tower in the middle, it's still true. I don't even know why they're fighting for this one, honestly. I mean, they're getting a little bit closer, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't risk anything to grab it. If you can, don't get me wrong, do it. But overextending here would be a mistake. If they stay too long, they're gonna suffer. The channel is already about to start. They're still trying to get this one. But obviously, it doesn't change the fact that if one altar gets channeled by the Donuts, they win the game. And take the lead. First one is taken, though. 1 point on the core. 1 point on the core against 3. This is for all the marbles. Here we go. And they kill Stitches. They take him. Lauber is down. Is this the play? Is this the moment? They try to go for the counter kill. Hogger is poking. He's poking around. They get him. They get Brightwing. Karazim is dead. The fuck is happening here? Nick with a kill. They look for the double. And they get Ixia. It's a 5-man wipe. And they pull it off. Hazu with Abathar, they slap him around and they lock in the victory. What a battle at the end of game number 1 as the Hardos take their lead. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Game number 2! Series is off to a good start, I'm not gonna lie. Towers of Doom was already a highlight. So all of it started with the Hardos just dominant, you know, in their fights. And then the Donuts brought it back and honestly, I looked at the game and I was like, not again. Are the Hardos really, again, losing games that they practically had won already by getting murdered later on because of a couple of individual mistakes and them just maybe... Yeah, maybe just like taking it too easy because they think they already locked in the W. But then we had this insane last team fight and the Hardos pulled it off after all. So probably a sigh of relief after that. We have Cursed Hollow coming up now as our second map. Map choice made by the team in blue. Medivh gets banned. The Donuts have first pick, first ban. And Vala gets eliminated as well. I'm kind of hyped. This is Cursed Hollow. So again, we're looking towards Falstad. We're looking for Dehaka. Well, he already got banned. Falstad could be eliminated now too. Globes are super strong as usual, but also you have Mighty Gust as a great tool whenever there's a boss fight happening, or just like a fight for the tribute. You have a good corridor there. They're going for the Brightwing ban instead. It's another map though, where you could also throw in a couple of X-Factor picks. We've seen Abathar in game number 1. We could still see a Viking pick over here. Hazu is always threatening this. It's actually one of the funniest things in HGC also, because Hazu was really known for his Viking picks, right? And he picked Vikings pretty much whenever he had a chance. That was at the beginning of the game. And at some point they stopped playing the Vikings. And I, of course, was watching their scrims back then and talked to the players a lot. And they were still in major competitions, games where other teams banned out the Vikings against Hazu and his team. And they were just laughing about it because they were saying, like, guys, we haven't practiced with the Vikings for months, for ages. We're not going to play that hero. We're not even thinking about playing that hero. It's not even a thing. But teams were still so much afraid of that potential pick that they wasted bans. And that's what happens when you have a reputation for something. Now, since then, obviously, Vikings have started to make a reappearance in the game and are now occasionally getting played. So a ban on them would not be necessarily a waste here. But it's kind of funny when you have certain players that are so known for picks that everybody thinks about banning those out. I mean, Maka, as we've seen previously, is in a similar situation. He's playing a lot of Mephisto, and you don't see Mephisto bans against anybody else, but against him. So Tracer and Diablo get now locked in. I like that. That's pretty sweet to see Marlow on Tracer again, as much as I would like Ty on Tracer. I really want to see him just once on the hero. But Marlow has played a solid Tracer throughout the tournament. Him subbing in forces some adjustments on the team, but yeah, they're doing extremely well with this. Okay, Yasuo and Hazu have already their picks. The Falstad pick was predicted. With Dehaka banned out, he gains even more value because chances are slim that we're going to see a global on the other side. And there's the ban on Stukov now. Any kind of stun with Stukov follow-up is always annoying, and there's so many corridors on Cursed Hollow that you can control a lot of spaces with Stukov completely. And that's of course also true, at least to an extent, when we're talking about the boss spots. So that's that. And here comes Garrosh. Okay, Garrosh gets banned. Leaves us with quite a lot of frontline options still. Muradin is something that Benny played also a lot. And Muradin, he has the mobility to really annoy an opponent on Cursed Hollow. So that might be a good one for them. I guess technically you could also still go into a Nubarak. I just don't really think that they're going to make an Nubarak play with this. So Muradin would be a good choice. We've seen, for example, Zalia for Team already play a lot of Muradin here. They go for Varian, alright. Benny, back to his old shenanigans. Here we have him. Bad Benny on Varian, on Copenhagen, on Blaze. That's some sustain that they have, but it also means that they need someone that can still do additional damage. And Tychus is up. You could go for a Tychus pick. You could go for another melee character that can also do damage if you want to go for a triple melee. But having Falstad as the only range damage feels a bit odd. Anduin, yeah, the man with the daddy issues, is going up against his father, trying to pull the targets out. Tai on Genji, Tracer, Genji. We're getting spicy over here, alright. So, well, let's have a look at what Nick is gonna do now. On the one hand, I would love for him to lock in a Kerrigan. On the other hand, I don't really think that it's going to provide enough damage for them. It's amazing that Tychus is, by the way, still up. And there's the Imperius pick instead. A little bit more sustain for them. Still a lot of stuns. Imperius can also provide damage. But that also means that Falstad is the only range damage dealer. Okay, another choice would have been Greymane. Good for the camps on the map. They could have used the bullet after a taunt after level 10. Either way, level 10 will provide us with a lot of synergy for both teams. But let's head straight into Cursed Hollow as we're heading into game number 2. Hardos against the Donuts, and the blue team is in the lead. Okay, let's find out if they can get the next one. On the left side, we got Hazu on Falstad, we got Copenhagen on Blaze, Nick on Imperius, and the support player is locking in a Lucio, Yasu, zipping around on the map again. We got Bad Benny on Varian, and on the right side of the map, the Tracer Genji combo, as they are really relying on mobility in game number 2. Marlow and Tracer locking in the parting gift. We got Skok on Hogger, Lauber on Diablo, starting things off with the Soul Shield here. Ixie on Anduin, he's going to be key whenever Varian is going for the taunt, then you really need to try and save the target. And it's Tai that plays Genji. Let's go. They're starting to make the plays at the mid lane again as everybody is going for the big team fight, the 5v5, as they are starting to look for kills. But it seems that at least for now we're not getting one. So just a bit of a brawl, no real consequences here. Or can they take him down now? Maybe. Benny, and there it is. Tag me when Benny feeds. Benny the first one to go down. Lauber still alive. It's a miracle. And, well, that's not, well, that's maybe a second kill. Hello, team. The bomb is in. And there it is, the kill against Tracer. They tried to go for the double kill. They extended a bit too much. And there it is, our Lauber kill. All right, all right. Everything is in order again. Yeah, we got the kill on Benny, but we also have 2 heroes down for the red team. It's kind of weird how that happened. At first they get the kill, then they chase a bit too much, and Blaze turns it around by using the jet propulsion to lock them in, and that results in a disadvantage for the Donuts. So, would have been better off if they would have just said, guys, we locked in kill number 1, let's leave it at that for now and don't overchase here. But again, as it stands, it's a lead in the kill count for the Hardos. There is a lot of mobility. I also talked about this during the draft a bit, but with now Tracer and Genji taken, there is tons and tons of mobility available. Benny gets taken down again. The game just started. We're not even 2 minutes into the game and Varian died twice. Now Benny, careful. You gotta be a little bit more cautious when you move out here all alone. Once that you have your level 4, we all know that you can be super annoying and you will be the one trying to make the engage happen. But at least for now, you're the one that has to be more on the back foot. Yeah, Hazu is not gonna have an easy game here. The problem for Hazu is not only that Tracer is being played against him, but Genji, of course, likes chicken. He loves chicken. Yeah, in all kind of variations. He is a regular at KFC. He likes to go for the Chick McNuggets whenever he goes to the restaurant with the golden M. And Hazu is first on his menu. He's going to be attacked every single big team fight. Tai is going to move in and try and take him down. And with Tracer in the same team, that's an issue. The bigger problem, of course, is that they're also playing this with Anduin, so you already know that the Light Bomb is coming on level 10. And Light Bomb Genji engages against a Falstad are, I mean, they are so annoying to deal with. So, I don't really envy the birdie, because that's going to be trouble. I'm really thinking about what they could have picked in the last slot to maybe make this a bit more viable. The front line is, of course, quite strong, and there is a lot of CC that could be used. But still, the damage dealer is going to have a very, very tough game here. Lauber is just bullying them around, by the way. Diablo is the original bully. I mean, he stuffed so many nerds in their lockers in school. You already know. If we have Kid Diablo at some point, if he was ever in high school, he was doing nothing else but pushing nerds into lockers. That's definitely what's going on there. I mean, look at him. He's pushing people into walls. He's flipping them over, bullying them 6 days to Sunday. The OG bully right here. And he's starting with Benny. Benny, of course, with the taunt is now coming in and is trying to use that to lock especially Tracer down. That's a really nice counter that they have, by the way, against Marlow here. So that could work well if they can follow the taunt up with additional stuns and some extra damage. But everybody is still going for interrupts. The earlier level 7 for the Donuts is now ready. We have them with the extra talent. Diablo bullying them out once again. There's the root at the same time. Nick might be in trouble on Imperius, but he turns it with a stun on his own. And they get the kill against Nick. He's dropped. First one down. Skok is also falling as Falstad came in and supported the fight. They're trying for a Tracer kill and they get it. Ty gets saved. He's protected, by the way. And the rest of the team, yeah, there's the taunt. They go for Anduin. Varian comes in and taunts Varian. You are disappointment as a son. Actually, that line doesn't work on Anduin. He's not going to get angry about this because that's just truth being spoken there. So he's like, I know. And it's like, yeah, and your haircut is shit too. And that way you make Anduin real angry. He is a bit vain. Anduin, if you criticize his hair, no. He goes full berserker mode and starts attacking. And that led to a kill. So, yeah, Varian takes his own son down. Makes up for past mistakes. Talking about taking people down. They're trying for Lauber, and Lauber is going for the chicken. They're trying to take him. That's not working. Ty is moving in, but he has to be really careful here. As long as Varian is still around and you also have a few more stuns available, you can't just sit on in that fight with only half HP. So, yeah. 5 kills to 3. Lead for the Hardos. The teams are exchanging experience leads, and of course it's still very early in the game, so it's not like anybody is pulling heavily ahead here. The first tribute went over to the blue team, so that gives them a slight advantage, but I really want to see how this is playing out after level 10. The Genji light bomb engage is going to be a huge problem for Hazo, at least it should be, and the rest of the team will have to cover for him. So once that Genji makes the approach, Nick and others need to be there and come in with a stun, and they're already trying to do that right here. Yeah, Ty is insanely low, but he gets the Swift Strike and is able to move out, or so I thought. But here comes Yasu, and yes, that's a hit. Overwatch against Overwatch. Genji a bit too strong. He has the level 10 abilities. Yasu went too deep, got baited. Now we got the Dragon and the Light Bomb. Dragon Blade is in. We got the Shockwave and the Apocalypse. Nick gets attacked in the mid lane. Talking about the Shockwave, there it is, but there's the delivery system. Coming in for Anduin. Tracer is nearly dead, but it is the Fleabag that dies once more. Yeah, no surprise. Oh, one surprise here. Copenhagen, look at that. Bunker, who needs that shit? They're going into combustion. Okay. Let's find out if they can make that work. Light Bomb comes in. Light Bomb into Apocalypse. The sound barrier saves them. Marlow is low, but he escapes with 90 hit points. Lauber is body blocked in the mid lane though, and he might fall. Saves himself for a bit longer. Andun is trying to help. And then Varian comes in with a big taunt against Diablo. Bale is the better prime evil, and Diablo, he can't have that shit. No. There's a lot that Diablo can let slide, but you know, at some point it's just too much for him, and if you bait him properly, then he is going to re-engage into the battle no matter if he dies or not. He doesn't care anymore. Level 11. By now, another tribute up. This is the third one. Each team now has one. We got 21,000 damage for Imperius. And Genji is down at the bot lane. Ty is pushing this out. Some experience will be lost for sure. They're coming in again. Another taunt. And there's the Gust with the isolation. That was a beautiful play. Nice delivery by our boy Imperius, and then the Gust for isolation. We haven't seen that all that often, but every single time it happens, it's just beautiful. The kill against Lucio, though, but they get Genji, too. They get the Genji drop, and yeah, that is such an awesome game again. 9 kills to 5, level 12 on both sides, but both of the teams very active on the map. And Falstad is, by the way, next to Blaze, the only other hero that hasn't died in this game yet. It's insane. I really thought that once level 10 hits and we have the light bomb Genji engaged, that Hazu would be the one that suffers the most here and would be chased down over and over again by the damage dealers on the side of the Donuts. And he is, by now, the one that has died the least. Now they're going for bosses. They're making their plays now at the top right and bottom left. Each team is locking one in. Nobody is making a play for a double boss. Nobody really has a power spike yet. Level 13 is going to hit slightly faster for the Hardos, but it's not going to be a big deal. At least not in the team fight. Skog is just ping-ponging around. They get their level 13. And this sets us up for the next battle around the tribute. And this is one where the Donuts have to fight. If they don't want to get cursed, they have to take this. It's a better position for them. Slightly advantageous. There's the interrupt. And the delivery of Diablo once again. What a stun and another kill. I love this combo. I love the combo with Nick and his ult plus the Gust on Hazops. We talked a lot in the past about Cocoon plus Gust, about Gorge and Gust, but this is a real nice combo that does pretty much the same thing and does it well. And now the Hardos have a chance of getting a huge advantage here if they complete the channel, and they will make it happen. There it is, the curse against the Donuts. The bot lane gets attacked already, mid lane even more so here. Varian is jumping in again, trying to go for another quick engage and maybe lock him in with another taunt. Already practicing his insults here. Your mama is so fat. Thrall's chain lightning bounces 3 times on her. And yeah, he's sitting in front of a mirror every day in preparation of these games, just practicing his lines, one after another, coming in again. Your mama is so fat. Even Stitches can't gorge her. But off we go, 10 kills to 5. I mean, Varian was always a bit of a mean one, so it's not a surprise that he's the one, you know, with all the insults here. But since Varian is looking for the next engage, we have the team on red falling back to the bot lane to save their keep. I don't think they can save the fort in the middle of the map. Blaze is already at the top doing his thing. And yeah, off we go. Is that a hit? Lauba comes in, gets attacked right away. And there it is again, the isolation of Genji. And these plays are just so insanely well coordinated. They are just absolutely incredible. They do such a great job. It's so simple, but it works like a charm. A kill against Hogga, a kill against Diablo. They are all dying. Yeah, Varian comes in again, taunts Anduin. Your mom is so fat. Wait a second. Your mom never loved you. For the Alliance! Anyways, so 14 kills to 5. Guys, this is just such a spectacular coordinated play by the Hardos. It's insane. I mean, kudos. They haven't won the game yet, but they destroyed every single fort. They now destroy the keep. And I am blown away by how well this composition works for them. Yeah, that was just awesome. They're 9 kills ahead. There is, of course, a bit of a danger period coming up now once that level 16 gets locked in by the Donuts. But yeah, with even talents, maybe the red team can win some fights. Considering how much of the map they've already lost and how much control they had to give up here, they need big wins in those battles, though, to bring it back. And they've nearly done it on Towers of Doom, but let's see where this is headed. Still 0 deaths on Falstad and on Blaze. I mean, part of it is also because Hazu's never really getting attacked these days. Every time that a fight approaches, what happens is Nick goes for the ult. Oftentimes, Benny is the one to lead the charge, taunt the target, Nick moves in, connects his own ult, and then Gust hits before anybody can can even make a move for our boy Falstad. So, yeah, I like it. Then you have Combustion on top of that also being dropped. 16 talents are, by the way, now available for the red team, so this is the moment where they have to try and bring it back. But yeah, let's see how far they can go with this. Now that they have even talents, they need to step it up, and the window is big. It's gonna take two, not as big as Thrall's Mama, don't get me wrong, but it is a pretty big window because it's 2 levels until the Hardos finally hit level 20. So there should be a few team fights that they can force here. Now they also have to defend their core. I really think that Falstad would eventually fly over. This is also nice. They just move in the middle and let the tribute go, and they're just saying like, you know what? We're gonna take that in the mid lane. Let's claim this one. Okay, so for now we have the attack. There's the taunt, and this time they're getting away. Combustion hits, and are they getting out? Marlow with the escape. Clutch though, very clutch. So they're able to escape. But the Hardos, they are not showing them any mercy. They're not taking any prisoners in game number 2. They gained some momentum on the first map, and they are trying to exploit it to its fullest. They know how many times they lost to the Donuts. And here's another gust, another hit, another kill. Horga is down. They're Hardos. They are murdering them. Absolutely murdering them. They go up against the Donuts after they lost so many matches now against the red team, but this time they found the key. Here's the engage with the light bomb, the apocalypse, but it is Lucio with the sound barrier that ruins the place. They take Tracer down, and that's 3 kills. Anduin is also dead, taken down by his daddy. Anduin coming into the fight. Varian appears. Who's your daddy? You are! And there we go. 17 kills, 2-5. They go for the core. What a fantastic game by the Hardos. I mean, big shout out to them. That was a beautiful Heroes of the Storm performance that they just pulled off here. But it's not over yet. Don't tell me there's a comeback. Genji is dead, but so are Blaze and Varian. Do they have enough to go for the kill? Level 20 is ready, and that gives us the wind tunnel. The core is down to 36. Hazu wants to finish it. They're finishing it. They are finishing it. They're ending it right here, right now. Game over. A 2-0 lead for the Hardos against the Donuts. Fantastic performance on Cursed Hollow. Battlefield of Eternity, game number 3. Guys, I can't believe that we have a 2-0 lead with a very decisive performance from the Hardos so far. Feels insane to me, it honestly does. Because we could see a 3-0 victory for the Hardos over the Donuts. And that just goes against everything that we had in the last couple of weeks and months. Because every single time these two teams faced off against each other, it was mainly the Donuts that performed incredibly well. Now, I pointed out that they play with the sub today, but Marlow really fit in well with the team thus far. But apparently today against the Hardos, it's just not flowing. And it's the Hardos that honestly look so much on point. Game number 1, that was already true, even though there were some hiccups at the end of the game on Towers of Doom. And then on Cursed Hollow, their combo was beautiful. The isolation games that they played there worked so incredibly well for them that they had no trouble to get kill after kill after kill and put the Donuts into a corner. And yeah, it was fantastic. Now, Zarya gets banned in this Battlefield of Eternity after all, and on this map, if you're looking at the 4-man at the bot lane, Zarya can change the balance very quickly. Ixia is known for his Zarya plays too, so they eliminate her. And, well, I want to see the Donuts step it up. They got to. They got to. Make some moves here. It's kind of weird to me that they ban a lot of the heroes that I expected them to look at for potential picks. Inuburak on this map, with Laura playing it, was always kind of strong. Stukov first pick, Brightwing first pick, damage instead. There's another map where Li Ming is also very, very good. Has been played a lot, but there it is, the Stukov pick. Okay, so they got Stukov. We could see Laura again on Muradin. Has played that also multiple times, and that is a fairly strong pick for them too, all things considered. If you have a Stormbolt and then stun follow-up, can lock him down pretty much indefinitely. But if you want to play that game, two can play it. Baron was already played on Cursed Hollow. They could do it again. There's Hanzo. And Urel, the space goat, everybody. Copenhagen on Urel. Copenhagen on the side lane is just always awesome. His Urel is great. His Leo is also fantastic. Some of the entombs that he dropped in qualification tournament matches were out of this world. Yeah, and the qualifiers were obviously a lot of fun too. Again, once more, we talked about this earlier, but a big shout out to our Mr. X who makes all of this possible by sponsoring this entire tournament series. The XCup Summer. It has delivered from start to finish, but the playoffs, oof, we've seen some awesome games in setup. And I just can't get over the fact of how well the Hardos coordinated their attacks in the second game. That was something. Aha, they agree, by the way, that Lauba is likely to lock in Muradin, so they ban him out. No chance for him. Li Ming for the combos and the poke, and Blaze also on the side lane now. So Urel against Blaze, that's what we're gonna get here. And the Donuts need to bring it back now. This is the moment. If they want to start a reverse sweep, this is it. We are in the losers bracket. If they lose here, they're out. They take third place in the tournament, which is of course quite nice. But they would not be able to advance to the next round and face off against Team Wah. Here comes the quick ban on Jojo. There's a lot of tank pressure. I mean, look at this. It has been a while since we've seen this many tanks banned out. We have a ban on Jojo, a ban on Anubra, Garrosh is gone. Muradin is eliminated. What are they going to pick now? Both, by the way, don't have a frontline yet. ETC! Moo! Alright. Time for the cow. The mad cow is in the house. Yeah, ETC was always good in Battlefield of Eternity with the power slide and also the displacement that you have. You can come in and try and lock the opponent into an immortal stun. Breeze in particular has done that a lot during HGC. And Ana, of course, is always kind of neat. There's Tracer and Mal'Ganis! Lauba is pretty much the only main tank that likes to play Mal'Ganis or brings him back every now and then. He was already responsible for bringing Mal'Ganis into the meta the first time. And he goes for it. Mal'Ganis played by Lauba, Tracer by Marlow, once again together with Li Ming. It's a bit of a do or die situation. They need to win this one. And what is Hazu's pick to finish the draft? Well, Zagara! Ho, ho, ho. She's been very much so ignored after the balance patch came out 2 days ago. And now we have Zagara played by the Hardos on Battlefield of Eternity. Oh boy, here we go. Game number 3. Can the Hardos pull off the 3-0 victory? We're going to find out right now on BOE, the Hardos against the Donuts. Here we go. The potential last map in the series between our two top teams, and it is a convincing 2-0 lead for the Hardos. The team in blue with Hazops on Zagara, Nick on Hanzo. We have Bad Benny on ETC, Yasu on Ana, and Copenhagen on Urel. I've seen quite a bit of ETC in this tournament compared to previous ones. Has been played in the side lane, in the main tank position, and gets played here in the losers bracket final too. On the right side of the map though, we have someone that hasn't made an appearance yet. It is Mal'Ganis, played by Lauba, Tai on Li Ming, Marlow on Tracer, Ixia on Stukov, and Skok on the top lane is playing Blaze. Off we go. Currently, Zagara with her Volatile Acid again on level 1. Generally speaking, she was just nerfed on all accounts. Her Q ability, her banelings got nerfed a little bit. Hit points, hit point regeneration. They just reduced the numbers on what felt like everything. And she isn't nearly as impactful as she was previously. I mean, she was just flat out busted. But now it's still something that the Hardos at least believe can help them to win the third game and therefore the series. So Lauba, playing as Mal'Ganis, went straight into the Winged Guard on level 1. And Lauba likes this bad boy here, going straight for the El Mariachi skin. But, this would be so crazy. It's such a... Oh, well, the slide, the damage, nice. Lauba is also in trouble. That was beautiful. Yasu with a fantastic sleep dart, and then Benny gets in position. Goes for a beautiful power slide to allow them with follow-up damage to threaten multiple kills. but so far we haven't seen a single one yet. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. So, can the Donuts bring it back? The Donuts need to spice it up. They already tried to make a play for Yasuo and Nick. Damage is in. Another power slide. Here we go. And there it is. Yasuo is in. Also, by the way, did I just say they nerfed or they buffed Zagara? They nerfed her, of course. Everything that I mentioned was nerfed. That's why we haven't seen her since then. Zagara was actually, on the day the patch came out, she was played one time. Didn't perform as well as the teams were hoping for. Got banned on the second day once, and ever since then, nobody looked at her again. Similar setup with Nazeebo. Nazeebo was played twice by the Hardos. Nick played Nazeebo 2 times because he got buffed. And after that, pretty much everybody was like, yeah, well, he's better, but we don't think he's worth picking. So the patch had some impact, but I would say that the one hero that got the most out of the patch is probably Deckard Cain. Deckard Cain has been played again. Everybody else is more or less in the same position as before. But again, it's still early. The patch has only been out for 2 days or so, so we might see some changes as teams are playing more, trying to go for different combos. But yeah, either way, we got now the pulse generator in. We have also the charge blast for even more damage against the immortal level 4 ability here. And for now, of course, with the first immortal popping up in 1 second, it's a battle in the mid lane that we can expect, or well, in the middle of the map, since both teams are looking for a win on the first objective. And there is again, Yasuo with those sleep darts. He connects them and sets ETC up, who just waits for a power slide opportunity and then makes the play. So right now, the bot lane wall has already suffered a lot. That's not only because of the camp, but also because Zagara is sitting here. And she is definitely turning up the heat on this one. Now, she doesn't do as much damage as before, but if you leave her alone on lane, she is still murdering your structures. Lauber a bit low. Tracer comes in with some damage. Lauber again under attack. But they win the halftime show. Easily. The sleep darts from Ana, then again, are a huge problem, potentially. So far, they have been without any big consequences, but once that the Hardos follow up on that later, maybe after level 10, if Ana keeps hitting them, then I think several of the red team's heroes are soon gonna be murdered. But they are losing heavily on the objective. That jet propulsion, though. The jet propulsion and the ETC kill. ETC, the first one to fall. And now they go for the objective. Great start for the Donuts. They win the objective. They get the kill. Nick jumps away before he can get targeted. And now with them moving down to the bottom of the map, that's of course a chance to, well, repay them. Because this entire wall was obliterated. Zagara also still has a lot of creep tumors around, so there's vision on top of that too. And here with the level 7 talents, they can now try to get the additional damage out with Calamity, of course. But how much damage can they really do here? It's definitely a much better setup initially for the Donuts than what we had in the previous games, I want to say. Lock in the first objective, get some damage done. But here comes Copenhagen. I highlighted his URL play earlier. And this is the reason why. These flanks are absolutely out of this world. Benny, on the other hand, he's the first one to fall. And the Space Goat finds herself in trouble too, since everybody is focusing on her. Beautiful dodge, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Copenhagen is still on the run, but can he really get out? He's trying to, and he jukes and escapes. But the fort falls. With Copenhagen trying to escape and everybody pushing the fight past the fort, the structure is eliminated. And that's 2 kills to 0, the first fort down. Kudos to Copenhagen, though. Escaping that situation was not easy, not even with Divine Steed and everything else that he has here. So this is a much, much better position for the Donuts than in the previous games. A little bit of experience, but half a level, 2 kills to 0. You got a fort destroyed, you have some map control to your name. Stacks also for Blaze. That's kind of important. If Blaze goes for his Globe quest on Battlefield of Eternity and you win the objective, you have a much easier time completing it because you get those extra globes. Ixia is a bit slowed down, but they cannot lock him in place for a kill. Once level 10 is ready, we might see some nasty combos, by the way, for the Hardos. So let's not forget about that. If you have a Maw, you got a Dragon's Arrow, and maybe even a mosh pit. There's a lot that you can do. More on a couple of heroes, slide through, hit the mosh pit, Dragon's Arrow on top of it. There's a lot that you can pull off, especially with an Nano boost, of course. So we'll see how well they coordinate those attacks, because at least in the second game, they were frame perfect on the engagers when they were trying to just sync abilities together. Marlo already diving behind them here on his little snowflake, or at least threatening it, just showing for a moment. But the red team will soon have their level 10. And given the fact that the Immortal is spawning in only 3 seconds, that should be a halftime show for them. So, yeah, let's go. Yeah, that's a freebie. That's a freebie. ETC is doing some damage, but it's not even worth mentioning. Okay, level 10 abilities that give us, of course, the Carrion Swarm. No conversion therapy here for Mal'Ganis. Halftime show is about to be locked in. Blue team is also looking at level 10, but they need to soak the experience somewhere, and all of the lanes are being pushed out, so Zagara has to travel a bit deeper into the bot lane to get more done here. Halftime show is still going to waste some time, and there we have it. More's in, Mosh Pit, Dragon's Arrow, everybody has everything as expected. No surprises. But the camp gets claimed. Camp on each lane, and it's party time. Can the Hardos, now with level 10 and the ultimates, make some plays here? Already, Benny gets sniffed out in the bush. Lauba with a stun, Skok with a stun. Lau was trying to set up too, but couldn't. They're burning it down a bit, but the blue team is once more falling behind, and Hazu is getting attacked here. The Maw doesn't connect with anything. Zoning more for Hazu, and that's not enough. There's the slide, the dance party, but Zagara is dead, and the Immortal is already claimed. Here come the Donuts as they go for additional kills. They lock Ana in place. Even the arrow of Hanzo can't change that. And Benny, even if he escapes, they are going to suffer. Top lane, that's a problem. Here comes Li Ming, and Tai is dead. The fort at the bottom of the map is rather low, but Skok seems to be able to handle the situation. Maybe not. No. It gets destroyed. But they're doing the same thing to the top lane now. They still have the Shaman camp here too. So, yeah. They are looking much, much better here. So whatever happened in game number 1 and game number 2, it seems like they were able to get their shit together for game number 3. Maybe just a cup of coffee fixed the issues and they finally woke up here. 5 kills to 0. The Hazus were not able to lock in a single win just yet. A single kill. But that's keep, right? That should be keep. That's gonna be keep. That's a 9-minute keep in game number 3. They're bringing it back. Yeah, they're going for it. So, here we go. Copenhagen gets attacked, and the rest of the team is already rotating straight down to the bottom of the map. I guess we're gonna see some camps being taken now. We got the virulent reaction, and yeah, the illusionist. Tai popping off. I mean, he was the one that finished ETC off just a second ago. And that's always a bit of a weird situation, because if one hero is trying to escape, sometimes it's really not worth chasing it. We had multiple examples of that happening on Battlefield of Eternity just over the course of the playoffs, where Blaze or someone else was trying to escape. One hero attempted to chase him down, and it just took forever. Some of the escapes in the tournament have been incredible, and at some point it's just not worth it anymore. You're wasting more time where you can't push with the team, but Tai with his Li Ming was able to follow up, chase down Bad Benny on ETC, got the kill with Calamity, and that of course then led to their top side push where the keep got destroyed. And with the level 13 advantage and the 2-level lead, they're making a play for the wall. ETC, Benny, this time he gets out. The Maw was nice, but there was no real follow-up. With ETC being pressured at the same time that Zagara connected the Maw, they had a very weird and awkward situation unfolding in front of them. And yeah, that is even enhanced to the fact that there's now a camp push with a double catapult happening at the bot lane, and the keep is already taking damage. They're not even waiting for the Immortal here, they're just sieging up on this thing. And the lower they get it, the better, because even if they, I mean, honestly, if they get it right now, that would of course be the dream, but even if they just drop it a bit lower, once you have the Immortal, you can go for core more or less straight away if the keep is already this damaged. So here we go. We got the push through towards the middle. Level 13 is soon going to be available for the Hardos. But at this point, they need a small miracle, I think, to bring this back. They lose a halftime show. That much is more or less certain. Not yet. Nope. Blaze needed another one. Didn't have the cooldown ready for it. So they can just tap the fountain, pre-tap that a little bit, which is what they do. So you pre-tap and then you go into the fight. And that's what we're going to see right now. Hazu is a good target. Yasuo another one if you can close the gap. That's why they're attempting with the flank. And it is time to party. Because that fight is going to determine the game. At least if the Donuts take it. Not necessarily if the Hardos claim it, of course. They would be able to just get back into it. But if the Donuts take this Immortal, that's likely game. Depending a bit on the amount of shields. But given how far ahead they are already, it's very likely. Oh, Urel! Heavy hits against Copenhagen, but he is unimpressed. Doesn't even pop his ult. He's just like, nah, I'm fine. I'm Urel after all. I'm tanky. I can take it. I'm just gonna jump out if need be. Catapults at the top lane are slowly pushing towards the core. It's not a real big problem. The Hardos, they are still in a situation where 12, 13 minutes into the game, they know fully well that the catapults are not doing enough damage yet to threaten the core. The minion wave will spawn way faster than the catapults can take the core down. So the minions alone will eventually defeat it. But they are still poking it out on the objective. And Hanzo is making a play. Nice, the Maw against Tracer. Don't think they can follow up on it, but they're trying. Recall is in. Zagara gets attacked, and Hazu is likely gonna fall. Hazu is dead. Zagara is down. Level 16 talents. The Donuts, they have the big lead. And this time, Urel is popping the ult. Hitting the R button. 6 kills to 0. Make it 7. They are taking everybody down. The objective has been claimed by the blue team, so at least they got that, but they're losing everybody else. And the question is simply, will the Donuts even bother with the defense or simply go for game? And they're not going for game, they're not going for the core, but they seem to be going for the keep. And given how exposed it is and how low, that's the right choice. They can still defend the Immortal, and even if the Immortal destroys the top fort, who gives a shit? I mean, seriously, who cares? You trade a keep for a fort, that is insane. That's always awesome. 0 kills for the Hardos at this point. Not even one. 39,000 damage on Hanzo. That's twice the damage of Li Ming. And they still haven't gotten a kill. Twice Li Ming's damage. A lot of that obviously poke damage. Not really targeted. A lot of that doesn't help them. But yeah. Fort at the top is gone. Does it matter? Not all that much. The Hardos are getting pressured on every single lane. Catapults spawn galore for the Donuts. And the Hardos are in this weird place where if you spend too much time in the mid lane now, when you fight for an objective or when you try to posture around a mercenary camp or even fight for it, all of a sudden these lanes are pressuring your core and you have to send someone back to deal with it, which puts your opponent into a position where they have a numbers advantage around the objective and therefore will likely lock in the hits. So it's tough. There's a big miracle needed. Oh, that arrow didn't go anywhere. Yeah, Maw. Did that just save or kill Maganis? I'm not so sure. The Maw saved him. The Maw saves Maganis. Might have been able to make it into the bunker anyways. The arrow completely missed. And that little Hail Mary move by the Hardos backfired hard. He used a lot of abilities and it just did not work out. So they will still wait for level 16. But the Donuts, they are looking better and better here. They take the camps on the map. They use the map control that they established to paint the map red. Can take their Shaman camp. Can also take the one up at the top. And yeah, it's rough. At least they have even talents now. But is there any power spike that is strong enough so that we think they make a comeback here? I don't really think so. Always strong talents on level 16, obviously. But there's nothing that really screams, okay, this is where now the synergy is going to come from, that they need to win the next team fight and to really bring it. They can still go for an attempt to force a battle, especially now that Hanzo's arrow is back and Zagara's Maw is only on a 10-second cooldown. But if they lose another hero, if they lose ETC here, then it's all over. And ETC is about to die. He's getting chased. Benny trying to survive here. Anna is also fighting herself in huge troubles. The Maw saves her. And Skog, they can't take him either. But here's the play for Zagara again and for Urel. The Space Go dies. A 5 versus 4. Look at that top lane, by the way. That's incredible. They need some tower defense players up at the top in order to save that one. Zagara goes down 2, and Hanzo misses the jump. Nick is dead, adding insult to injury, and the core is losing hit points as we speak. This is game. This is the Donuts putting their first point onto the board for the red team. They take Battlefield of Eternity, and the Hardos, they have to play it out on game number 4. Nicely done by the Donuts. A flawless victory. 11 kills to 0. As we are about to head into game number 4. The Donuts are bringing it slowly back, or at least they're trying to. Apparently the Hardos were able to laugh about the map and they were like, alright, that didn't work out. So they are still in good spirits, and they should be. They have the lead in the series. It changes if they are losing the 4th map too and have to go the full distance. But now that we're on Infernal Shrines, this could be more so their territory. Yeah, Battlefield is a bit weird these days, and a lot of the teams are not quite sure how exactly they want to approach it, so that's one. But as you can see, we have Stukov banned, and with Infernal, Tychus takes a huge priority. Vala is again very powerful, which is the reason why she gets banned. Don't think we're going to see too many crazy picks. But then again, you never know what the Donuts are going to do. This is the map where they played the double support Vala Tracer with Leo as the only tank. And it worked. Just saying. Now, of course, the argument can always be made that it's worked against their opponent in the earlier rounds of the tournament, and that's not going to work against a team like the Hardos. But again, they are willing sometimes to YOLO out a comp that is a bit more out of the box. Obviously, here you can't go for the same composition any longer since Vala is already banned out, but at least the spirit of what it is sometimes still happening here. So time will tell. We got the Junkrat ban. He has insane potential, not only for displacement, but also just poking from outside of a shrine is super strong. I think be happening. In comes the Garrosh ban. And it's pick time. So, do we get an early... well, we will get a Tychus pick. One way or another, Tychus is going to make an appearance here. You need that Odin. The only question that we always have is first pick, yes or no. And we've seen so many first picks into a support, being it Stukov, being it Brightwing. But they go for Leo. Yeah, Leoric has been played over and over again by Copenhagen in particular on this map. And he is just crushing it. His Entombs in particular are amazing. I said it earlier, his Urel is great, his Leoric is probably better than that even. But that leaves us with a double pick for the Donuts, and of course the opportunity to lock Tychus in, which they do. And they lock in Hogger as well. So that's 2 fantastic heroes right from the get-go, on Infernal Shrines at least, for the Donuts. Good start. And what have the Hardos planned? What they are going to try on Infernal, I mean, again, it needs... They want to go to the next round. They want to have revenge. They want to make it. They played in the in the winner bracket final. They played against Team... Wow, they lost barely on the last map. It was insanely close. But they want to have revenge. Revenge in the grand final. And we have Nick on Greymane. He played Greymane multiple times, especially on day number 1. And he looked terrifying on it. So now that we got Brightwing, you have slows from Leoric, you can trap the target with the Entomb, you have Brightwing with the Polybomb, Greymane moving in for the extra damage. Alright. Let's see if they can rip them apart here. Enubera gets stunned out, so no initial stun. But yeah, I'm hyped to see Nick on Greymane again. Greymane was always fun to watch. I mean, all the time. Still remember Snitch on Greymane in HTC times. I mean, he was just ruthless on that hero. There was one game, I think it was Cursed Hollow, where he killed 3 people. Fight was over and he single-handedly just eliminated 3. It was absolutely nuts. But here we have the bans. It's Anna and Anubrak. And of course now, double pick for the red team. Okay, what can they do? Stitches! And Falstad! Remember what we saw in Cursed Hollow? The combo with Imperious and then the Gust as an isolation tool. They're gonna try and do the same thing with Gorge. Stitches hook, Gorge by him, Falstad with a Gust. They're going for a similar play. And now, of course, you have to say, yes, there it is. You have to ask yourself if you go for Medivh, and indeed they do. Medivh Diablo, Leyline into Apocalypse. They have a play that can counter a little bit of what the red team is attempting to do here. You can either Leyline Stitches whenever he goes for the Gorge. You can provide the portal. If you get in reach of the target after it gets dropped out, you are able to provide a shield. This is a real nice counter. Okay. Here we go. Infernal Shrines, the last pick for Ixia. It's Whitemane. Whitemane in the game. Guys, here we go. The Hardos against the Donuts. It's time to party. Map number 4. Can the Donuts force the 5th and final map? Or will the Hardos lock in a victory and move on to the grand final? We're gonna find out right here, right now. Game number 4, a 2-1 lead for the blue team. They lost on Battlefield of Eternity. Now on Infernal Shrines, they have a second match point. The Donuts, they are working on the reverse sweep. Can they do it? Yes or no? Time will tell. Hazu on Medivh. Again, with his baseline, we're going to keep an eye on it. We have Bad Benny on Diablo, Yasu on Brightwing, Nick on Greymane, and Copenhagen on Leoric. On the right side of the map, the Donuts, with Skok on Hogger, Ixia on Whitemane, Ty on Falstad, Lauber is playing Stitches, and Marlow on Tychus. Okay, it is time to partay. The Donuts with an opportunity now. They have the chance. They can try and force the 5th. Oh, well, that would be a nice start into the game if they can get the kill here. They're going for Nick. He gets out. Alright, alright, alright. Nick gets out, and does he? Yes, he does. Nick is able to escape, so is Ixia. Both of them were fairly low, and obviously at this point, they're still brawling it out with another hook coming through. Also trying to make a play for the top, but nope, not quite. 0 kills as the teams are splitting. But I like that they are, again, at the beginning, being immediately aggressive. This has been a really cool experience anyways in the tournament. The teams have been aggressive from the beginning in every single game. We didn't see anybody just like stay far back. And now they kill as Medivh goes down. So Medivh is dead. And that is, after 1 minute mark, not really a big deal. More of a problem when he has his 20, 30 stacks together. But that's not the case here. But obviously, it's a great opening for the Donuts. Always nice when you open the game up with a kill. Now, do these single early game kills really change a whole lot? Most of the time, they don't. The death timers are so low. The experience gain that you get is minuscule. But it's a nice touch if you're able to get that early kill. And sometimes, if you're killing a side lane or whatnot, you get a bit more map control. Ty is getting away with Falstad. Brightwing moved in, was hoping for a Polymorphia, but they could not get that either. So, yeah. There we have it. All the way up at the top, our level 4 as the lead for the Donuts increases slightly. That gives us playtime for Stitches. And talking about our bad boy, we have him active in the mid lane as they're making another play for Greymane. But level 4 abilities on both sides. Pretty good increase in XP for the Donuts now. So they are threatening an early level 7 on the first objective, which is what it's most of the time about when you're talking about Infernal Shrines. They're trying to contest the camp. That didn't work. Hazu gets targeted again, but he makes it out. That Benny, though, gets body blocked, and he gets body blocked heavily, and that's the end of Diablo. Well, Brightwing moves in and tries to help, but that could result in a double kill. And yeah, I'm just kidding, because the portal was there, but there's the hook, and this time they get Greymane. Boy, targets shifting 3 times in the last fight, but it's still a kill for the Donuts, and they definitely found some momentum and a good rhythm on Battlefield of Eternity. Now they have a level lead over the opponent, and as pointed out, on objective number 1, what really matters a whole lot is whether or not your team is able to lock in level 7. And since the Donuts have taken such a significant lead, they will very likely win this one without even trying. I would be surprised if the Hardos even make a play for it. I don't even understand why Copenhagen stayed this long. He's dead too. That's 3 kills to 0. And I expect the Hardos to more so focus onto the remaining lanes now and try to get value there, because they sure as shit are not going to win the Punisher. That's just not happening. It's definitely not happening. Because level 7... First of all, we have already 25 stacks for the Donuts. And second, we have level 7. You're not going up against that power spike anytime soon. So that window that the Hardos have... that the Donuts have... is going to make it impossible for the Hardos to reclaim the position on the shrine and win Punisher number 1. Yeah, today, words are difficult. I mean, I've been casting 2 days in a row now, and especially yesterday was long. But I think I need another coffee after this series. Words are hard. Immortals, Punisher, Garden Terrors, Tribute, Seeds. Same shit, different day. But the push with the Punisher. Mortar Punisher, the first one. It's actually kind of lucky for the Hardos. Not really the strongest one in the bunch. Arcane Punisher and Frozen Punisher are definitely way stronger. 3 kills to 0 still. Another hook. Gap in experience is still ready. Hogger is coming into 24 stacks, by the way, for Medivh. So this is really the time where Hazu wants to be careful. Dying in the early game, that's not a big deal. If you have 3 or 4 stacks, who cares? Who cares? But if you are locking in 25 and you're just close to level 10 in the game, that's really when you want to pay as much attention as you possibly can to not dying, because you want to complete that before the shit hits the fan. And already we have another push coming in. Portal after portal is being executed. On top of that, as you can of course see, we have also these hooks that are coming out. So both are playing with this as much as they can. Rotation down to the bottom of the map. Falstad, then again, just as I said, is moving towards the top, so he's controlling the side lane. Level 9.5, closing in on the heroic abilities. And yeah, 28 stacks for Hazu. That level 10 needs to lead to some pressure. Combat Tactician, by the way, on level 7 has been claimed from Tychus. We've seen that in one of the previous games, and here we see the exact same build being used. Gorge is in, there's the portal, and they try to control him, but he simply moves out. And that's the beauty of playing Medivh against the Stitches and Falstad combo. To be fair with them, though, Falstad wasn't here, so he couldn't gust to isolate the target even further. If you get Medivh outside of range, then you have a chance. But if Medivh, for example, is simply flying like a bird through the skies, then you're going to have a tough time doing anything about it. So Hazu Ops needs to be as much as he can in bird form here, because it will make it much easier for him to just obliterate the value of the combo that the Donuts are attempting to execute. We have level 10 abilities. We get Leyline into Apocalypse as an additional setup for the Hardos, so they can use that combo to maybe lock a kill in. Allow, for example, Greymane to dish out some real damage. And Greymane hasn't made a choice yet. Bullet against Stitches is always nice, but the go for the throat, of course, against the backliners is very tempting, and that's what they're doing. Tai is flying out. Yeah, the birdie! Look at that, Falstad. He's able to escape. Nicely done. Played with the vision and uses fly to get out. There's the ley line. No Apocalypse. Did he just run into the wall? Did that just happen? They go for Hazu and he's dead. No! The stacks are gone. What just happened? That was such a weird one. As the objective is about to spawn, we're going to take another look at this. First of all, look at the engage of Diablo and then the wall. So here comes the play. They're coming in. Hook is, of course, coming out in a second. There's the ley line. And then, yeah, Stitches is trying to escape. Everybody is getting gusted away. So we had the kill against Medivh thanks to the killer comp with Gorge and Gust. The fight over the objective is still unfolding in front of us, though. And Benny barely survives as he gets attacked. The portal is set up for him, and he completes his stacks on the baseline. But the objective is looking extremely good now for the Donuts. They have 4 kills to 0, and off we go. The stacks on Medivh are all lost. 30 plus, and he lost them. And that was just beautiful. Lauber moved in, got the Gorge, then he moved out, the Gust happened. Diablo tried to engage, the Entomb came down, but it didn't connect. So they couldn't save Medivh, and now the Hardos are in real trouble because they have to deal with the second objective, the second Punisher. And with 13 so close for the Donuts, they might be able to use it in the team fight right here to drop this fort. Another jump from the Punisher. Shield is out, and they go for the Fountain. They're gonna get level 13 now. Oh, but there's the Entomb. They try to go for Skog. Can they drop him? Ogre, and he's dead. The Gust is too late. They go for Hazu again. 2 stacks for him. Drops the ley line. No Apocalypse. Still on cooldown, but the wall stun is still available. And that's the end of Tychus. The Hardos with some signs of life. 2 kills to 4 as they lock in a double kill. Even on the 13. Look at this. That's the stuff. I haven't seen that one in a while. Alright. There was a time when it was part of the standard build for Tychus. And then Blizzard more or less ruined the talent. It was during the times of HGC. Because right now you only get the heal after the minigun expires. Yeah, and that ruined the entire combo with you trying to go for stacks on level 4. And that's the stuff. So now it's a little bit different on how you're going to try and execute that. But either way, 2 kills to 4. 13 versus 13. By the way, experience lead for the Hardos now. They actually pulled ahead. Thanks to the 2 kills that they got, they pulled ahead in experience. And that puts us again into this weird situation where you can tell that the early game kills are just not all that heavily important. Hazu can not set up a portal because it's on cooldown. So now he attempts to save Greymin with the shield, and Brightwing moved into... What a beautiful block! But I think they might be able to get out. Yeah, there's an Apocalypse to zone them out. A kill attempt on Hawkeye is successful. And Brightwing was able to drop him there in the end. The Hardos, they are bringing this back slowly. We have a match on our hands for sure. Yeah, this 4th map, it started off extremely well for the Donuts with 4 kills to 0 and them nearly taking down the fort in the mid lane, winning 2 objectives. But the Hardos, they brought it back, or they're about to bring it back. They have a slightly inexperience now, they're still behind in kills. And of course, when we're talking about structures, they also have to catch up. But they are at least playing a competitive game now with the opponent. And that's important. Losing 1 game after you've taken 2 wins is not the big deal. But if you lose a second one right after that, then your opponent is entering the final map with a lot of momentum, and you want to avoid that from happening. They go for Lauber. Good Entomb. Follow-up attempt with the portal. Lauber is still going for the Gorge. The Gust is here, and they try to take down Leo, but it's another shield from Hazu. The second hook, then again, is making sure that they finally lock in that kill. And of course, right away after that, the Hardos are disengaging. Lauber's hooks are on point. Medivh is attempting to get his stacks back. He's sitting at 9. Closing in on level 16. Both teams are getting a little bit closer to it. Yeah, and now that the Shrine is active, it's likely going to be the first Punisher for the Hardos. Question is simply if the Donuts are willing to engage without having level 16. You can of course always try and land that hook from the outside, but it's going to be difficult. Falstad has taken to the bot lane and is murdering that fort. Hello, sir. Yasuo has no chance of stopping him. Tai takes it. And all the way up at the top, Lauber is going to be looking once again for the hook. Is he killing the birdie? Brightwing really wanted to go for the bird here. But nope, is able to get out. 30,000 damage, top damage in the game. It's Tychus. 29 for Hogger. And with the first Frozen Punisher of the game, the Hardos are making a move for the top lane fort. The Mithril Mace for Leo on level 16 already locked in. We're still looking at the same amount of stacks for Hazu. He's sitting at 9 stacks. Exactly. I was about to say that. But yeah, can he complete the quest? Now, if he can, then of course it's even more damage, but even without it, they have really nice numbers. Greymin in particular is of course the main damage dealer. And here's the counter play again after the Gorge gets used. They try for Lauber. There's the jump, the Punisher jump, procced just before the gate. That's bad news. Oh, that's really bad news. That's a beautiful frozen setup from the Punisher, and now they can break through that wall easily. But Marlow, he had the cooldown on Odin and he uses it for defense. Another stun procced baited over the remaining structures in the wall. Punisher gets taken down, but they lose the fort, they lose the wall. 3 kills to 5. Experience lead for the Hardos, and they are moving into the mid lane now for some additional damage. Haven't managed to take down the fountain here though. But the hooks are just not hitting anymore. Yeah. The isolation attempts are alright, but as you can really tell now, there's a lot that the Hardos can do to just deny that. You can work with the Entomb, you can work with a portal, you can try and play the leyline game. Even if you fail all of that, if Medivh is in a position where he can get the shield connected with a Gorge target, they have a very good shot at saving the hero eventually. So, the Donuts can't play one-trick pony here. They need to make sure that they're engaging this a little bit differently in the next few fights. If you get that hook, if you get that isolation, it's always kind of nice. But you can't just solely rely on that. They need a bit more. And they have the damage output for it. Tychus alone can chunk a target down super quickly. We've seen it plenty of times. He's at 37,000, illustrating that point. Going into a very heavy auto attack style here. Against Bad Benny, that's also quite neat. Again, if you are able to get damage out against Diablo, especially with the minigun, you can do a whole lot of work here. They are trying to sneak in against Nick. Nick is already trying to stutter step this a little bit. Trying to make himself as unpredictable as possible so that Lauber doesn't get a free hook. Hazo is also jumping down now. First of all, for more stacks. Here it is. They go for the Entomb again. Gorge against Diablo. The Gust. I don't think they can kill him. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. The portal is there within a second. The shield is out too. Now they're going for a wall stun against Skork, and it is the end of Hogger. Leyline into Apocalypse, and it's an attack against Whitemane. Ixia doesn't stand a chance. They take down 2. They go for 3. Lauber is also getting dropped. Falstad, the only one that makes it out. Or does he? Flies straight into the fight, honestly. And the bird is dead. Falstad is down. 5-man team wipe, baby. 5-man team wipe right here. Another fort gets destroyed, and we have level 20. They go through the wall and straight for the keep, and so they should, and they might not stop here. They're gonna go core. They're going core. They're going to the grand final. It looks fantastic. Can Hogger defend? He's the first one to be back on the map, and I don't think so. There's no way. There's no chance. The Hardos, they finally shake the curse. They finally win against the Donuts. They take it on Infernal Shrines, the 3-1 victory, and they advance to the grand final to face off once again against Team Wah.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.